The Danish monarchy is experiencing one of its brightest eras. Earlier this year, King Frederick and Queen Mary ascended to the throne after Queen Margrethe II abdicated, and their eldest son, Prince Christian, became first in line to the throne. Now the young heir, who recently turned 19, is rapidly gaining popularity and confidently taking steps toward his royal destiny. However, in the past few months, he has preferred the sunny expanses of East Africa. Prince Christian embarked on a grand journey to explore new horizons, dedicate time to nature conservation, and enjoy life away from the strict royal protocol. In this article, we will discuss how the Crown Prince balances fieldwork, sports, and preparation for future kingly duties, why he returned home just in time for Christmas, and what the future holds for him. Denmark has upheld its traditions for centuries. The names of future monarchs almost always alternate. Kings are named Christian or Frederick. New times have not altered this pattern. After Queen Margrethe II abdicated, Frederick took the throne, and his son Christian is now preparing to continue this glorious tradition. His full name, Christian Valdemar Henry John, Prince of Denmark, and Count of Montpezat, sounds majestically royal while emphasizing the continuity of Scandinavian history. Interestingly, in modern Europe, Christian is the only crown prince among his male peers. This inevitably increases attention to his persona, both from the Danish people and the international press. Despite his title and highest status, the young prince was raised in what can be described as a maximally normal environment for a future king. His parents, King Frederick and Queen Mary, adhere to parenting views that imply minimal privileges, sending their children to regular public schools. Until the 9th grade, Christian attended one of Copenhagen's schools, and then, in 2021, enrolled in the prestigious Herlufsholm boarding school. However, just a year later, the royal family decided to transfer Christian to a more tranquil setting, the Ordrup Gymnasium in the suburbs of Copenhagen. By the summer of 2024, the prince completed his studies at Ordrup Gymnasium, thus fulfilling one of the key educational conditions always emphasized in the royal family. First, obtain a basic education, and only then undertake royal duties. After school, the young man faces perhaps his most serious challenge: mandatory military service. Christian personally confirmed on his social media that starting in February, he intends to diligently fulfill his duties as a Danish subject and will soon join one of the regiments in Slagelse. This step seems quite logical, considering that his father Frederick once served in the Royal Life Guards, and military training is considered an important part of the tradition for Danish monarchs. Shortly before the onset of the colder months in Denmark, the Crown Prince embarked on an unforgettable journey to East Africa. It is reported that since September, he lived and worked on several farms, engaging in various tasks from administrative duties to physical labor outdoors. A significant part of his program involved ecological projects aimed at wildlife conservation. Christian monitored animals, tagged them with GPS collars, and even participated in immobilizing certain species to replace old sensors. According to the prince, this activity not only helps better understand the local ecosystem, but also promotes the idea of responsible stewardship of nature. Of course, Christian also found time to relax. He played football with local residents, familiarized himself with the region's culture and cuisine, and, sometimes, dived headfirst into office tasks, helping plan the construction of new houses on farms and delving into management issues. This priceless experience, in his own words, fosters respect for labor and people, teaching him to appreciate the diversity of global cultures. However, despite the African expedition lasting several months, Christian had to interrupt his journey for a solemn event. He returned home to Denmark to celebrate Christmas, as this is a special holiday for the royal family, the first year on the throne for King Frederick and Queen Mary. The reunion on the eve of Christmas, traditionally celebrated with family around dinner and gift exchanges, became a significant event for the entire country. The Danish warmly welcomed the news of the prince's return, as many had been anticipating his presence at the festive events. For Christian, it was also an opportunity to take a break before facing future challenges. It is worth mentioning his personal life, which inevitably attracts increased interest both from Danes and the global press. Christian's mind was doing plenty of interesting things. One of his handwritings also included the words celibacism. Discussions about Christian's future spouse continue, despite his young age. According to former members of the royal court, it is allegedly recommended that Christian not choose a Danish woman to avoid excessive attention from her family and the associated media leaks. The experience of the Danish royal family shows that King Frederick married an Australian, his brother Joachim married a French woman, and even Queen Margrethe II was married to the French Count Henri de la Borde de Montbazat. Thus, international unions are more of a rule than an exception for the Danish monarchy. Assessing Christian's lifestyle, critics and admirers agree on one thing. Despite his luxurious background, the prince does not fear hardships and approaches his role responsibly. Royal commentators note that he knows how to remain humble and open to new experiences, whether it's education, military service, or an expedition to another continent. Christian's future seems to be linked to serving his people and strengthening Denmark's international authority. He is expected to complete his military training, delve into state affairs, and support his parents at official events. But before immersing himself in the whirlwind of royal duties, Christian still managed to enjoy the life of an ordinary guy, even if it involved activities like walking through the African savanna or helping workers on farms. This wealth of experiences will undoubtedly be useful in his future diplomatic and humanitarian endeavors. Thus, Prince Christian of Denmark stands on the threshold of a new chapter in his life. From a young student and traveler, he is rapidly becoming the central figure of the Danish royal house and the state. Thank you for watching our video about Prince Christian of Denmark and his path to the royal throne. If you liked the content, give us a like and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss new interesting stories about monarchs and their lives. Leave your comments below. We value your opinions and discussions. See you all again, and happy holidays!